No.
chick, not bad looking. And so she was good to look at anyway. So we sat there and we explained to her what it was all
I
about.
think you're
She
performing?
sat there.
We paid them for
okay,
her
so
time.
the
Gave
show
her
starts at
$800
what
to sit
time?
and listen to our story.
Oh,
And then we
okay.
gave her the
That's
core,
okay.
we did a white paper before we did the book. We gave her the core, about 45 pages of the core issue about the law of Nevada being invalid. And so we didn't hear from anybody at all.
2
And
weeks later.
it was 2 weeks later. What happened is,
Garrett Ocean
she gave this white paper
Test
to
one,
the
test
secretary.
two.
Said, "Read this and tell me
Sound
what you
check,
think."
test one, test two.
She came back in and she said, I'm not gonna tell you.
Test one, test two, sound check, test one, test two.
Mark Garrow goes, he called us on the phone, he goes, are you fucking kidding me?
I've got a famous producer that we represent, and we'd like to make a movie about it.
Yeah.
Sound
Yeah,
check, 1 2 1 2.
And so we've had 70 different
Sound check, 1
producers,
2 1
and,
2, stereo.
The guy what was that movie we saw?
Sound check, 1 2 1 2.
Oh, you're talking about.
Sound check, 1 2
the
1
with
2,
the kids and
stereo.
Child trafficking, the one that,
Yeah.
they won't show it in any of the theaters and they mess with everybody that goes to see it, I forget
Well,
what the name of it
he's
is.
pretty well to do.
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, that's,
Jim Caviezel was in it.
Yeah, he contacted us, we've got a bunch of them coming at us, and we're determining whether or not we want, that kind of exposure, but
I'm telling you, there's two sides of this, and I'm glad you brought it up, because one side, your conscience and you just have to get the truth out. It's like there's something that's eating at us when we don't do that, when we know that we know, and we know the corruption and how many people
well,
are
the
being
Lord bless me
hurt.
with finding this out. How I found out, I got railroaded into a state prison, and they gave me a death sentence, 28 to 64 years for a paper crime I never committed. And it was on this HOA scam, and they were laundering Ferdinand Marcus's money. They built Canyon Gate. Bank of America downtown was involved. It was all a big scam. All I set out to do was buy some houses. The next thing you know, I'm roped into this thing. They thought I was gonna sing on them, so they tried to bury me with the judge.
Well,
So that's what they do.
What happened is they left their corporate book in the garage of the house he was buying, and he got his hands on it, and he hid it.
And boy,
And
yeah, they
then-
wanted it.
Then,
I didn't
and
give
they
it up.
knew
Still
that
have
their
it.
corporate book would totally incriminate
Yeah.
them, so they took him out. How many houses did you own?
Well, I had 4 mansions and 6 condos here,
And then he had, how many cars?
32 exotic cars.
And
And I had $2 billion in the bank.
$2 billion in the bank.
And they, so how long did you have to stay in jail?
It took me 10 years to give it back to them. I got it reversed. And only half of 1% ever gets a reversal from Nevada Supreme Court.
And-
Once, they affirm your conviction. And then I got over 200 people out of prison, and the warden put me in the hole for 2 years. It said I was practicing a license without law, practicing law without a license. It was all
So,
bullshit.
but the interesting thing about his case is the attorney that represented him in his trial was being prosecuted by the district attorney's office himself for possession of methamphetamine, having a gun in the car, DUI. And
y'all are telling me.
he ended up in Gary's bunk
Yeah.
in
They
prison.
created a whole new crime I never.
Jen, you gotta come listen to
They
this.
created a whole new crime I never was indicted for, or arrested for, or anything, right? A whole new crime.
Yeah. Let me
And
tell
they
you,
gave me an Alfred plea and released me.
when I tell my story to people, they think I'm crazy. They literally think there's no way. And you're telling me my story, not, I didn't go to jail or anything, but the same thing. So you gotta hear their story.
So I came out, and I took a $500 Social Security payment. I put down on a mine. I bought it for $80,000. 3 days later, I sold it for $10 million. I took the $10 million and started buying other mines and mill site and other stuff. And we built our company up into billions of assets. Billions, literally.
And so,
And we have, I just met him, and I didn't have the contract signed. We just signed a contract. I took on some other mines that belong to other people, but they have what's called a national instrument done on them. An NI 43-101, which is recognized by traders and banks and everything around the world.
Financial,
And all your banks have to become Basel IV compliant, or they gotta shut their doors. And that's what's happening right now. It's in effect, it went in effect January 2nd.
we have 4 years to do it.
And we have the ability to give them Basel IV compliance. And so I created this idea of these land bank mineral vaults. And 2.5% of the US market in the tailings market is $56 trillion, just sitting there. That you don't have to take out of the ground, you only have to test them, prove them, certify them, put a fence around
A lot of it, we don't even have to
turn them
buy.
into a land bank vault, and you can trade them globally.
We can just go and
Huge
file
amounts
on
of
it,
money.
you know.
So, in the last few days, incredible things have happened to us. So, we signed a contract with Brian Davis, the football player, and Brian, he's got $2 billion. And we got Brian to buy Duck Creek for $500 million. We make $200 million.
What is Duck Creek?
It's a new mining project.
This guy just named his mine.
It's a mine.
He's got a mountain full
He's
of
got
them
10
in northern Nevada.
mining properties, and each one is named after a fishing spot where he fished with his kids, you know.
So we sold it for him, and we did a 60-40 split. On our buy-sell agreements, only had to give him $50 million. But I said, it's not fair, we can't do that to you. This is what I got it sold for. He said, all right, I'll take 60, you take 40. I said, okay, we're not greedy, we're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they have to put $3 million non-refundable deposit. They'll close on December 30th on that one. We got a call yesterday from Brian Davis, who put it together with Forbes and Lehman Brothers and 6 banks. They want to buy Leadville off of us. We hold $4 million on Leadville, but Leadville's worth $11.2 trillion in 16 rare earths and $500 billion in precious metals.
And where is that at? Is that here in Nevada?
Colorado.
No,
Colorado. I was gonna
It's
say-
right near Vail.
No, I know where Leadville is.
And,
I was thinking, is that Colorado?
And it was delisted before Pruitt left the EPA. We got them delisted. It's not on the EPA, so they don't know it. Your big guys don't even know it. So that's basically our first step.
Dr. Royo, she's a dentist.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry.
She's bringing the whole Spanish, she's in Spanish. Yeah,
Awesome.
yes.
Very
So
good to meet you.
She's gonna sign up today. Marty Hill is the CEO owner of the Canaglo, and that's her lovely wife.
This is my wife Jennifer, and this is our COO Trey Henry.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some good officers. One of them was a former president of Allied Artists. He's also a famous movie star. And he's been in Ghoulies and all that, named Peter Lapis. And we made Peter our CEO. Our treasurer lives here, Tony Baca. He's done well for himself. So I'm just a consultant to the company until I get the taint off of me. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
what
I'm
I
gonna
do.
tell you, we have a lot to talk about, and I'd love to have this conversation offline,
Right.
So basically, at a lot bigger thing, Jen, what happened to us with Blue Moon, much worse, but happened to him. And so they've written some books that, and the same type of movie producers calling, hey, we want to make a movie out of this.
Yeah, we can show you everything. We tell you we're very
Yeah,
transparent.
all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so then I told them about Blue Moon, and some of the stuff. People think that you're crazy until you go through it. When you were saying that was it your attorney that ended up being in the bunk beside, or
Yeah.
Yep.
your attorney? I'm gonna go here in
Sure,
2
sure.
seconds. Give me 2 more seconds, because this is so interesting to me.
10 minutes.
I forced the original sentencing judge to resign. He was reelected in January. He had to resign in April. He knows I'm coming after him. He's in deep shit.
So
He has no